let's focus on a company called PricewaterhouseCoopers, also known as PWC. So what the hell are these guys doing? So they're what Cooper is actually a company for is they have there are many USA and United Kingdom based. So they have British and American backgrounds. So they have a branch in Australia, and let's focus on Australia. So this happened in Australia, and their branch over there. So so last Thursday, the week prior to this one, two staff members of a high they are executives on the human resources team there. One person dressed up as a bat from Wuhan, China, and the second person mocked Chinese accents. So who's person number two? We know don't know anything about person number one, but person number two anyways, let's get to this first. The team's responsibility. So what they're actually supposed to do is improve diversity at the firm and being part of the complaints process for staff who feel that they have faced racial discrimination or harassment. So, person number two is the senior manager of diversity and inclusion at the firm. He was the one mocking Chinese accents, which is racist and offensive. And people are like, that's nothing. So technically, those idiots who still don't understand. So if you were to mock another person's way of speaking another language because that is not their first language, so such as an Asian speaking English, Latino person speaking English, or a person who is sort of a different English background, speaking certain other English, and yeah, or they're speaking another language that is not English, yeah, they're bound to speak it thing differently, and yeah, and people making fun of these people. Yeah, that is just you're being racist, you're being rude and offensive. Trying to act like these people, it's yeah, it's not a polite thing you would want to do, and yeah, you'll get a lot of judgment. That one. And the last person we've heard who for mocking people, yeah, she's also the same age as me. You'll probably heard her as Billie Eilish. So she was busted on TikTok for when she was 13. She was mocking Asian accents, and she said it to her friends. She said it to her pets, and then yeah, and other people, and until her brother Phineas busted her for doing it and told her to stop. So she was uploading TikTok videos of her doing it, and she didn't think that was that offensive until yeah, she cover was blown, and every single person came at her for yeah. especially those who are Asian. Yeah, and her apology was not very sincere. Just because she's famous, and many famous people who do this on and apologize 7 years later, only to try to like clear her name. So what happened at the firm was the employees select a company logo. Several listed options that best represented communism with the correct logo that was close to the Chinese tech giant Huawei that also makes smartphones. And so this incident was reported on the Instagram account, the Aussie corporate, released on Friday on Instagram stories. So it showed that literally everything. So if one of the photos used, there's a black person and there's a white woman, and then there's a South Park character you probably have seen if you watch that show. So executive Tom Seymour has launched an investigation for the incident. She called the racist and offensive, and he had legal advisors. However, he worded this incorrectly, although he did say it was say the people who work there and shared the disappointment of people doing such racist and offensive thing like this, and how he was also disappointment. Yet he used the word unintentional, thoughtless, and harmful. So he's right about harmful, but unintentional and thoughtless. Here's the situation with this one. So it is technically not unintentional when they purposely wrote it out. They purposely did it, and they thought, oh, we didn't really mean to offend people. Yeah, you kinda did, especially those who are So apparently next week they're going to report on this, but anyway, the Australian branch of the firm. So the people who work there, 17% of these workers are not Caucasian, and 47 people percent of these are Caucasian. And to express anger about this racist thing, about the Wuhan, the made in China, people Australian blaming China started coronavirus. Let's not forget, in September, a Chinese man had his friend had told them there was a sign that said "Made in China," arrow pointing down, COVID-19. and the arrow was drawn deliberately. And the man got out his electric saw, chopped it into three pieces, and started chopping it into even smaller pieces. And yeah, whoever's property it was on was erected on someone else's property without their permission. So yeah, that was also offensive too. And whoever's property it was on, I'm surprised they didn't do something about it. You know, because if someone erects a sign on your unless if it's not government made, they have no right to unless if it's you give permission to do it. So I don't know who the first person staff member who dressed up as a bat from Wuhan, China, but yeah, that was he was also acting like an idiot, racist, and I hope he also the second person who was mocking Asian accents. I hope they both get fired permanently. And I hope their names get exposed because yeah, this kind of behavior is unacceptable. Because they say they don't mean it and they say it's unintentional. But they're just trying to make excuses. No, just no. Please support any Asians who have been victims of this kind of stuff. Who being targeted with racism, physically, verbally, and cyber. And it's as Devin Lee has mentioned, people are endorsing Asian culture, but are not accepting Asian people, and they think they have a right to make fun of us for our differences, and that's just rude. Please support Asian people, because it's just getting worse and worse.